2306-67071B to welcome comments and discussion related to tax credit reference to the cooperation agreement between the City of Sweetwater and the Texas Housing Foundation.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're in public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Okay. Do I have a
Close the public meeting, public hearing, excuse me.
Who seconded that? All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. We'll now move to item 9B, which is discuss, consider, and act upon a resolution evidencing no objection to the applicant's tax credit application, authorizing the Texas Housing Foundation to exercise its powers within the territorial boundaries of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, and authorizing a cooperative agreement. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
Move adoption of the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now read the resolution into the record. A resolution evidencing no objection to the applicant's tax credit application, authorizing the Texas Housing Foundation to exercise its powers within the territorial boundaries of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, and authorizing a cooperative agreement. We'll now move to item 9C, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approving a cooperation agreement between the City of Sweetwater and the Texas Housing Foundation. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
Move we approve the cooperation agreement between the city and Texas Housing Foundation.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Now move to item 9D, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approving a payment agreement between JES Holdings and the City of Sweetwater as consideration for cooperative agreement. Any questions? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion we approve the payment agreement between JES Holdings and the City of, as considered for cooperation agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried and approved. Okay, we now move to item 9E, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approving an ordinance declaring unopposed candidates in the May 4th general election. Any questions?
Move approval of the ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Read the ordinance into the record. An ordinance of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, declaring unopposed candidates in the May 4th, 2024 general election elected to office, canceling the election for contestants with unopposed candidates, making various findings and provisions related to the subject, and providing for an effective date. We'll now move to item 9F, which is discussed, consider, and act upon approving the annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ending September the 30th, 2023. Morning, Kathy.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'll be brief and stop me if you need me to slow down. I'd first like to congratulate the Finance Department for winning the GFOA Award for their audit last year. 44th consecutive year. That is quite an accomplishment. It takes a great deal of work on the part of the Finance Department to do that. So I'm going to read just the paragraphs from the various opinion letters. If you want to know what page I'm on, please let me know. If not, I'll just read the opinion to you. On the financial statements as a whole, they are presented fairly in all material respects. So that's a clean opinion on the financial statements as a whole. And then the opinion on compliance and internal control related to government auditing standards. Internal control over financial reporting. I did not identify any deficiencies in internal control that I consider to be material weaknesses. That's on page 124. And then on the report on compliance and other matters, which is the very last paragraph on page 124. The results of my test disclose no instances of noncompliance or other matters that are required to be reported under government auditing standards. Then just turning the page, on page 126, this is the independent auditor's report on compliance over each major program and on internal control over compliance required by the uniform guidance. That's your single audit. Second paragraph down, it states that, in my opinion, the city complied in all material respects with the types of compliance requirements referred to above that could have a direct and material effect on each of its major federal programs for the year ended September 30, 2023. So again, no findings related to your major programs in your single audit. Can I go back over anything in more detail?
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, all right, thank you.
We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll now move to item 9G, which is discuss, consider, and act on approving appointments for Ms. Glenda Kenny and Mr. Rod Wetzel to the County City Library Board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now move to item 9H, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval for engineering bond and financial service selected in accordance with the Texas Water Development Board requirements for possible lead service line inventory and replacement fund. Any questions? Oh. That's quick.
You want me to say anything, or y'all have any questions?
Any questions?
We talked about it a bunch.
You can talk about it if you want to.
Well, listen.
City staff has graded and selected the engineering, bond, and financial services to satisfy the Texas Water Development Board requirements for possible lead service line inventory and replacement funding. Improtech Hibbs and Todds was selected for engineering. McCall, Parkhurst, and Horton was selected for bond counsel, and Samco Capital was selected for financial services. These services will be utilized if the city obtains funding from the Texas Water Development Board, and today we're seeking possible approval for the selections.
Move we approve the selections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now move to item 9I, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of proposal to purchase a hydro vacuum trailer associated with the lead service line inventory and possible reimbursement by the Texas Water Development Board.
So the city went out for advertisements and accepted bids for a hydro vacuum trailer following the Texas Water Development Board requirements. This hydro vacuum trailer will be utilized for lead service line inventory and replacement, and this will also be used for day-to-day activities that require excavation. There was one bid submitted before the deadline, and it was from Vactron Equipment, supplying of a mirror machine. The bid price was $68,250, which came in under budget. City funds will be utilized to purchase this machine with possible Texas Water Development Board reimbursement. And today we're seeking possible approval of the proposal to purchase this hydro vacuum trailer. Any
I move,
questions?
approval of the proposal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Joseph. Now move to item 9J, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of an ordinance adopting a new airport ordinance, Chapter 3 of the Code of Ordinances, herein regulating the Sweetwater Municipal Avenger Airfield and establishing minimum requirements and standards for the premises, providing a penalty clause and saving repealing clause and a severability clause with an effective date, and providing for the publication of the caption hereof. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. And this is fairly lengthy, so since we sent over quite a number of documents, it might be prudent for me to be available for any questions that you might have. Our existing ordinance in Chapter 3 is very old. The new one really makes improvements based on future planning for various uses at the airport, and kind of allows for parameters of that without making any substantive changes, but it is modernized.
Any questions?
Move we adopt a new airport ordinance.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now read the ordinance into the record. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, adopting a new airport ordinance, Chapter 3 of the Code of Ordinances, herein regulating the Sweetwater Municipal Avenger Airfield and establishing minimum requirements and standards for the premises, providing a penalty clause, a savings repealing clause, and a servability clause with an effective date, and providing for the publication of the caption hereof. Okay, we'll now move to item 9K, which is discuss, consider, and act upon a memorandum of understanding between the City of Sweetwater and the Wasp Museum to use Sweetwater Avenger Airport for the homecoming air show and fly in April the 26th through the 28th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll now move to item 9L, which is discuss, consider, and act upon a memorandum of understanding with the Abilene RC Society to allow for RC Jet Rally to be held on the first weekend of October 3rd through the 6th at the Sweetwater Municipal Avenger Airfield. Any questions?
I guess, is Lynn aware of that coming up? And
The gentleman that came last time and spoke, they had originally thought that July might suit them, but they were able to identify a cooler season weekend that was available for this and would kind of suit the national flow of enthusiasts, so that they'd switched to October, and we've already vetted it against other things going on in the community and gotten full cooperation from the Wasp Museum and the Chamber. So switched it to this weekend for them.
but is Lynn aware of it at the airport? I guess he's on board.
Pardon?
Lynn at the airport, is he on board with it?
He knows about
Okay,
it,
okay,
you know, I mean, and it shouldn't impact him necessarily either.
That was my
Yes.
next question, so, okay.
Move adoption of the memorandum of understanding.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now move to item 9M, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approving a temporary maintenance agreement for the Creekside Subdivision Detention Pond to cover interim maintenance until the pond is vegetated and accepted by the City of Sweetwater.
This is a temporary agreement that will allow for the detention pond to be maintained by the developer while it is being vegetated and comes up to full compliance. Creekside.
You got a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the temporary maintenance agreement for the Creekside Subdivision Detention Pond to cover interim maintenance until the pond is vegetated and accepted by the City of Sweetwater.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll now move to item 9M to discuss, consider, and act upon ordinances declaring structures on described property in the City of Sweetwater to be dilapidated and deteriorated and unfit for human habitation, so as to require repair, rehabilitation, or demolition, providing a time for which to rehabilitate, repair, and or demolish such structures, and provide for the repair, rehabilitation, or demolition, and remove which requires a public hearing for each property. At this time, Jeff Allen, City Attorney, will swear in Lynn Barrett, Director of Planning and Operations, for her testimony.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in the matter pending before the city council is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for 610 West 5th Street?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
This property burned. As you can see from the pictures, it's in an unsafe condition, and we have not received any response on any of the letters that were sent. It's our opinion that it is a health and safety
I say it needs to come down.
There's not much potential left.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak regarding 610 West Fifth Street? Do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion for declaration of dilapidation and/or deterioration and unfit for human habitation in order repairs, rehabilitation, and demolition of 610 West Fifth Street within 35 days from date of order?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries to repair, rehabilitate, or demolition of 610 West Fifth Street within 35 days of order. Okay, do we have a motion to open public hearing for 910 Locust Street?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This property has a house and two structures. I would call them accessory structures. The one showing on the left was actually, I think, a residence, but it has burned and it is in danger of collapse. The one on the right is an accessory garage on that property. The house itself is not under consideration for substandard findings, but these two pieces are represent a danger to the public, and it is our request that they be declared substandard and need to be demolished. The property owner has responded to us, and he has stated to us on numerous occasions that he has no interest in fighting this. He doesn't care about these.
Is there anyone here who wished to speak regarding 610 Locust Street? Do you have a motion to close public hearing?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Closed hearing is, public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion for declaration of dilapidation and/or deterioration and unfit for human habitation in order repair, rehabilitation, or demolition of 610 Locust Street within 35 days from date of order?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll now move to item 9O, which is discuss, consider, and act upon approval of resolution approving the purchase of 405 and 407 East B Street, Sweetwater, Texas. Any questions for Lisa?
Intended use.
It's going to be the properties right behind the police department. It's going to give us room for the growth that we're having, also give us an impound yard and some storage, more storage buildings.
I move approval of the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now read the resolution into the record. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Sweetwater, Texas, approving the purchase of 605 and 607 East B Street, Sweetwater, Texas. City Manager's report.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. The Newman Park Playground Equipment grand reopening was held a couple of weeks ago at the site. It went really well. I think that it's being utilized, greatly by the residents, and especially the children of Sweetwater. So we want to thank everybody involved for their participation in making this happen. Dana, if you can pass along our thanks to your crews and yourself as well for making this that day possible. It was we couldn't have done it without y'all. So thank you very much. The Mustang Harbor Splash Pad opening day will open on April 13th of this year. So we're looking forward to that, to opening it up for the spring and the summer season, and it closes sometime in the early fall, I believe. So it'll be open for several months, and we're looking forward to that as well. The donation for $15,000 for a mental health officer from the Nolan County Renewal Project. It was an outstanding effort by the chief and his staff. And Stacy, thank you and your group for offering that donation for a very worthy cause. We appreciate it very much. As I understand it, the original donation was in the amount of about $5,000, but I guess Chief turned on the charm and got it up. we ended up with 15,000. So Stacy, please give our thanks to your group for that very generous donation for a very worthy cause. And I'll turn it over now to Ms. Barrett for the code enforcement update.
So, just kind of some highlights of what we've been doing in my department. We did have 2 dilapidated structure tear downs. One of them was, both have been on the radar for some time. The photographs that are showing were from 405 Fisher. The property is partially shown, partially demolished on the left, and what the site looks like on the right. We didn't have any plats, rezonings, or variances come through. We had 53 building permits. And as you can see, my staff has been pretty busy on the inspection and noticing and action front. So we continue to be moving forward and bringing additional properties each month for tear downs. And of course, I have to commend my staff for the work that they've been doing in the cleanups that we're also that are underway all over town. Grass hasn't started growing yet, so it'll only be increasing from here.
Thank you. Is that it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now call for a motion to adjourn. Anybody want to go home?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
All in favor?